What's going on, everybody? My name is Phantomatic, and if you decide to click on this video, then you're either one of three people currently. One, I just pulled Firefly and Ruan Mei, so I want to build her. Two, I skipped Ruan Mei because I was a complete fool. Or three, the relatively new player that wasn't here for Ruan Mei, so with your insane luck you managed to pull her. Me. If so, then you've come to the right place. Ruan Mei is what everyone would call a must-have on your account. She's by far the best supporter in the Harmony category, with her omnipotent flexibility on most teams and her synergy with Firefly. With these in mind, it really makes sense seeing why she still reigns at the top of many tier lists. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to the channel and let's get to building.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
Ruan Mei's technique, Silky Serenade, is pretty handy since it allows her to use her skill at the start of the battle without consuming a skill point. And to understand why this is important, her skill, String Sing Slow Swirls, places Overtone on herself for 3 turns, which decreases by 1 when it's her turn. And with this active, it'll increase everyone's damage by 30% and grant a 50% increase to everyone's weakness break efficiency, allowing you to break enemies a lot quicker. Her technique also has an additional ability within the simulated universe, which allows her team to reduce the enemy's toughness regardless of said weakness and will trigger the said weakness break of said character. It also has some stuff to do with blessings, and I'll keep it on screen if you care about that. However, I do not. Overall though, free skill activation at the start of the battle is insanely blessed. This also means that Ruan Mei can regain 30% of her ultimate's energy as well. Her passive, somatotypical Helix, increases everyone's speed except hers by 9.5%, and whenever you break an enemy's weakness, Ruan Mei will also deal 105% of her ice break damage to enemies. This basically ensures that you'll be doing the necessary amounts of damage with Ruan Mei on your team. Her ultimate, Petals to Stream, Repose and Dream, creates a field for 2 turns, which decreases by 1 when it's her turn. And while in this field, everyone on the team gains a 22.5% resistance penetration increase, and if enemies are hit while Ruan Mei's ult is active, then her flower is applied to them. And if the enemies are weakness broken while the flower is on them, it'll extend their weakness break if they try to recover and deal break damage equal to a certain amount of Ruan Mei's ice break damage. Just remember that this flower cannot be applied unless they recover from the weakness break. Her Ascension 2, Inert Respiration, increases everyone's break effect by 20%. Her Ascension 4, Days Wane Dots Wax, allows her to regenerate 5 energy at the start of her turn. And her Ascension 6, Candle Lights on Still Waters, increases everyone's damage up to 36% max for every 10% of Ruan Mei's break effect that exceeds 120%, meaning that your main goal should be building 180% break effect on your Ruan Mei.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
When it comes to which of her traces you should prioritize, it's going to be her ultimate, talent, skill, and lastly her normal attack. You're going to want to level up the first 3 up to 8, then eventually get the 3 to 10. As for the mini ones, make sure to unlock all of them since they're all really helpful.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
If you're wondering whether or not you're missing out on anything with an E0 Ruan Mei, then you really don't have anything to worry about. She's honestly pretty impressive at E0, but don't get me wrong, that does not mean her Eidolons are bad. If you're thinking about pulling dupes of Ruan Mei, then I highly recommend going for either E1 or E2, since her E1 allows her team's damage to ignore 20% of the enemy's defense, and her E2, which increases everyone's attack by 40% when they attack weakness broken enemies.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
Ruan Mei's 5-star signature Lightcone, Past Self in Mirror, is by far her best and only 5-star Lightcone, since it will increase her break effect, increase everyone's damage when she uses her ultimate, regains 1 skill point every wave if her break effect is 150% or more, and at the start of each wave will immediately regenerate 20 energy for the entire team. However, the 4-star Lightcone, Memories of the Past, is another great option for her, since it will increase her break effect and will regenerate her energy when she attacks. The 3-star Lightcone, Meshing Cogs, is surprisingly going to be her 3rd best free-to-play Lightcone, since it'll regenerate 8 energy whenever she hits an enemy or gets hit by an enemy. The 4-star Lightcone, Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds, is another great option since it randomly activates 1 of 3 buffs at the start of the match, and whenever it's the wearer's turn, these buffs are going to be an attack boost, crit damage, and energy regen. And lastly, the 4-star Lightcone, Dance Dance Dance, is the final Lightcone on this list since it'll activate everyone's actions forward by 24% whenever she uses her ult.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
The Watchmaker Master of Dreams Machination set is Ruan Mei's new best relic set, since it will increase her break effect by 16% with the 2-piece and will increase everyone's break effect by 30% when she uses her ult with the 4-piece. However, you can use the 2-piece Watchmaker set and 2-piece Messenger Traversing Hacker's piece, which will be a 16% increase in break effect and a 6% speed increase. If you, however, have god tier pieces for the Thief of Shooting Meteor set, then you can continue using that set since it's still pretty good for Ruan Mei. And for those who don't know what it does, it increases break effect by 16% with a 2-piece and increases her break effect by a further 16% and regenerates 3 energy when she inflicts weakness break on an enemy with the 4-piece. And the 4-piece Messenger Traversing Hacker's piece is Ruan Mei's last option, since it'll increase everyone's speed by 12% when she uses her ultimate on an ally for 1 turn with the 4-piece. As for Planar Orbs, Fleet of the Ageless is her best option since it'll increase her max HP by 12%, and if her speed is 120 or higher, it'll increase everyone's attack by 8%. Broken Keel is her second best option since it'll increase her effect res by 10%, and if her effect res is 30% or higher, then it'll increase everyone's crit damage by 10%. Penacony Land of Dreams is another great option since it'll increase her energy regen by 5% and increases the characters that have the same damage type as the wearers by 10%. And Talia Kingdom of Banditry is going to be her last option since it'll increase her break effect by 16%, and if her speed is 145 or higher, it'll increase her break effect by a further 20%. As for the main stats on your relics, you'd want to have HP percent on your body and speed on your feet. As for the Planar set, you'd want HP or defense on the sphere and energy regen or break effect on the rope. As for substats, you'd want to have break effect on all of them until you reach 180%, speed, HP, and defense.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
As I said earlier, she's practically usable on most teams you can think of, but at the moment you're going to want to pair her up with Firefly, and that's going to be the case because they work hand in hand like PB&J. The insane synergy with Firefly, Harmony Trailblazer, and Gallagher is absolutely filthy, and to be honest, unless you got a favorite team you want to use, I highly suggest putting Ruan Mei on Firefly's team. As for some other teams, you can pair her up with Jing Liu, Bronya, and Luocha. There's also Kafka, Black Swan, and Huahua. And also Boot Hill, Harmony Trailblazer, and Aventurine. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Signing off.